Well, hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here with Anne Marie Marlier. She is the Executive Director for Business Ethics Alliance, who does so much in our community and had a really great conference here over the fall. Anne Marie, thank you so much for joining me today.
It is my absolute 100% pleasure. We've had such great conversations over the last couple of years, and I am just honored to be in the company of all of the amazing organizations who make up Omaha. Just
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Well, let's just talk a little bit about Business Ethics Alliance because it celebrated 15 years. I mean,
Yeah.
this was a milestone for this organization. And just who do you serve? And just tell us a little bit about the organization itself.
Absolutely. So we were founded in the mid to late 2000s on the heels of the Enron scandal. And Enron had been such a big part of Omaha prior that when everything blew up and that scandal happened, Dr. Beverly Crocker, our founder, and the Omaha Chamber and Creighton University and the Better Business Bureau, and several leaders from the business community, they all said, no, that's not who we are here in Omaha. And we don't want that to ever happen again. So we developed this citywide business ethics education initiative, and we're still going strong 15 years later. So we do everything from individual workshops for organizations. We host our very well-known signature events where we bring in speakers and panelists, and we really get into, I don't want to say the weeds, but we get into some difficult topics, when it comes to, is this an ethical thing for an organization to do? Or, hey, this ethical issue happened. How can we prevent this? And
Right.
not only are those events times to dive into what it means to be an ethical leader and an ethical organization, they're also times for networking so that people don't feel like they're making these difficult decisions in a vacuum, right? They've got colleagues, they've got other organizations, they've got the community who says, nope, we're not standing for that. This
Yeah.
is what we're going to do.
Yeah. I mean, I love those conversations. And again, you have, quite a few events throughout the year.
Mhm.
And then Ethics Space being the conference that I was speaking about that
Yeah.
happens in October. But you have these really, I think some of them were about AI and women in leadership. And really, there were several others that really talk and dive into the ethics. I mean, every business and organization deals with, and you're asking questions about, or how do you navigate through things? Because things are always changing
Right.
out in the world about what are we doing in regards to this or that. So um I want to talk a little bit about 2024, and I look
Mhm.
forward to when we get into 2024 having a bigger conversation. But
Yeah.
what is next for the Alliance in 2024?
I think the biggest thing for people to know is that we're not going anywhere, right? And that's our big message for this year is we're here for 15 years. We're going to be here for another 15, 30, 45, you name it. We're going to be here because as much as I would love to say, hey, the ethics are kind of, embedding in everybody and we're seeing less and less ethical issues, it's just not the case, right? We still have ethical issues all over the place, and ethics still matter, bottom line. So we'll continue on with our signature events. We'll have 5 of those. And our theme this year, and we released this at our annual meeting, is going to be AI. We're going to spend a whole year really focused on different aspects of AI. And when I say we're focused on AI, I don't mean, we're getting into the nitty gritty of how all the algorithms work, and it's not going to be technical. It's what are the ethics of
Yeah.
AI,
Yeah.
right? When you've got name, image, likeness, and deep fakes, whoa, right? That's an issue
Yeah.
when you've got digital natives whose ethics are changing around what digital engagement means. That's AI and an issue. So we're kind of fine tuning those
Yeah.
individual events now, but those will be a big part of it. Ethics Space, you mentioned the conference before. ethics space is going to be moving to 2025. And the
Okay.
reason being is because we're moving it from October, which is getting so crowded with so many wonderful events in October here
Yep.
in Omaha, that we're going to be moving it to March. And March
Okay.
is actually Ethics Awareness Month.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense to move it to March. The reason we're not doing it in 2024 is it takes a lot of work and I just can't get the staff, to buy into, hey, let's do another big conference in a couple of months. So we're going to take a year to just move that. And then one of the other things that, in addition to having some smaller community kind of maybe pop-up issues, or maybe it's, hey, come watch this movie and we'll have a discussion afterwards,
Yeah.
we're going to be starting a certification series. So there are many, many, many industries and professions where people need ethics credits for licensure and certification.
Okay.
So can you get those online? Sure. But what we're hearing is people really appreciate the opportunity to talk to others.
Mhm.
So we're going to offer those in person as well.
Yeah. Well, that's really exciting. And thank you for sharing that information because
Of course.
I mean, it's ever evolving. I mean, there's never going to be a time where it's not important because I mean, AI years ago, that was not a thing. And now
Yeah.
it is. And who knows what's going to be a thing next year, a couple of
Right.
years from now. So I just appreciate how much you guys do and
Yeah.
how and your contribution. I just want to talk because this is kind of an end of the year and just 30 seconds. How can people support you if they're looking? I mean, we're always looking at end of year giving. I know what can people do to support you in the last weeks of the 2023 year.
Sure. Three words: treasure, time, talent.
Yeah.
I mean, we always need, and we're a small organization with a really small, tight budget. So, I mean, I'm going to be that executive director that says we do need money. We need money.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
also need people to share time and talent, meaning expertise. If you're interested in being a panelist or helping facilitate one of the signature events or helping maybe bring one of our workshops to your organization, just takes a quick phone call or an email to us, and we will find a way to make sure that you can become part of that ethical community. That's what we're after, about building and rebuilding an ethical community here in Omaha.
All right. Anne-Marie, thank you so much for taking the time out to join me
Of
today.
course.
Always love talking to you.
Thank you, Andy.
Ethics Alliance, my friends, look
Yeah.
them up and they're doing great things. So thank you again. And folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, hello, my friends. I'm excited to be here with Barb Rhodes. She is the director of the Birthright of Council Bluffs. Barb, thank you so much for joining me today.
Andy, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I have to tell you, I mean, we met in the fall. Uh, I was not familiar with your organization, so I'm really excited to learn more about what you do and who you serve and your mission. So I'm just going to let you kind of start with that.
Okay, just briefly, Birthright is a pregnancy support center, and we help any pregnant woman who is pregnant or thinks she might be pregnant. And we particularly focus on women that are struggling with an unplanned, unexpected pregnancy.
Sure. And are you specific to Council Bluffs, or tell me like the history about how this organization came to be? Um, because I feel like, I mean, your logo, you have like, do you help women internationally? Is this like a chapter of a bigger organization? So I'm just curious.
Yes, perfect question. We are a chapter of Birthright International, which was founded over 50 years ago. And we've
Okay.
been in Council Bluffs for 29 years. And our area of coverage is mainly the Omaha Council Bluffs metro area, but all the surrounding counties, anybody that can get to us conveniently.
Yeah. And so you're serving women, like you said, with their sometimes, you have a pregnancy unexpectedly. Where, I mean, how do they find you? And like take me through the process of when somebody does find you. I mean, how are you helping them?
Well, usually people find us through, they Google some pregnancy support.
Okay.
Many people have gotten referrals from other people that we've helped. So they can just show up at the door when our office is open. They can call us and schedule an appointment. And we do have office hours, but we can meet with somebody
Sure.
at a time that's most convenient for them.
Yeah. And I know one of the ways people support you, or you have a fundraiser coming up in the spring. Talk to us a little bit about that, because I know we'll have a bigger conversation once we, get to end of February, 1st of March, when you really start promoting it. But what is the fundraiser about?
Well, the fundraiser is something that we haven't done for a very long time. We have a lot of supporters that support us financially, but um, it's it's a way to just become more available to the community,
Yeah.
a time to engage people. People can get information about Birthright, and hopefully we'll recruit some volunteers. Obviously, we need money. We depend on donations, financial donations. The fundraiser will be a car show
Okay.
and a wine and beer tasting event. Um, the car show will people that submit their cars, they'll pay a fee, a small fee, and they'll get a top three prize winners. People can come to the car show for free. And then the wine and beer tasting event will be the main part of the fundraiser. And as a usual event like that. And we'll have other non-alcoholic drinks and snacks for anybody to come, because we want it to be a family friendly event.
Absolutely. And okay, so that's going to lead me to my next question, because how can people support you? First of all, I love learning more about the event coming up in April, and again, we'll talk more about that too. But how can people support you? Just, 365.
All right. So we look for donations, financial
Yeah.
donations and material donations to support baby clothes, maternity clothes, small baby supplies, gift cards to buy the bigger things for the baby when baby's born. So through our website, we have PayPal. Through um, Share Good Iowa, we
Yeah.
have that online giving opportunity, and of course, check in the mail. And people can bring things to our office, donations of material items.
Okay. And so you're talking about a woman can reach out to you, connect with you, giving her support, and can you drop off items? I know financially that's always a great way, but a lot of times families are looking, it's like, hey, we want to go shop for items. Is that something that you would take, physical items, or do you really specifically like, what, we really would like the financial piece versus people buying like baby clothes or buying things? Does that make sense?
It does. And some of the community resources we have, churches and different organizations, do baby showers for us, and they contact us, and we are able to give them a specific wish list. We do have a wish list on the Share Good Iowa website, on our profile page. But and people can just call us or email us if they have ideas, or even gently use things that they have that they would like to donate.
Yeah. So website is birthright.org/Council Bluffs. You do have a Facebook page as well, which I think it's always a great way to engage with nonprofits and connect with you on social media. What else would you like us to know for people that don't know about you?
Well, Birthright is all about affirming life. And we support moms and dads, and grandparents. Sometimes the grandparents end up being a major support for that mom, or even become the guardian of the child. So we just want people to know that we're able to help everybody in the family that needs that support.
Yeah. Well, I think what you do is so important. I mean, um, for, like you said, moms, dads, grandparents, and the organization, how it helps before and after the process of giving birth to a child. So I just want to, first of all, I just want to thank you for that, and I look forward to also, we'll talk more about the fundraiser that's coming up at the end of April. Do we have a date?
April 26th,
Okay. April
which is the last Friday in April. Yeah.
Yeah, last Friday in April. And I honestly think car shows, that's a great way to gather people together. And also having, I think you said wine tasting, beer tasting. It sounds like a wonderful event. And we will definitely talk more to you as the event gets closer. So uh, before I let you go, anything else you'd like to add?
If anybody would like to volunteer to actually work directly with the women or can support our mission in any other way
Yeah.
with the talents and gifts they have, we welcome that. Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, again, folks, birthright.org/Council Bluffs. You can find more about this nonprofit at that website. And I know Share Iowa has great information as well. So encourage everybody to go there. And then we have you in our giving guide, our 2024 giving guide. And just look forward to working with you and learning more over the next 12 months. So Barb, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Andy. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And folks, don't go away. We will be right back. Well, I am so excited to be here with Elizabeth Hansen. She is the Chief Development Officer at Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands. Love this organization. Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to see you, Andy, on Zoom and to be with everyone and share a little bit more about our organization. So thank you for having us.
Well, for those who don't know what Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands is, and I can't believe that many people do not know, but tell us about the organization, your mission, and who you serve.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. I think most people, first, I'd like to say it's kind of interesting. People always say, now, are you Boys and Girls Club or Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Oh,
and both are great organizations, but they're more of an after school program. But we are a mentoring organization. We've been in Omaha 60 plus years. We match BIGS, which is the volunteer, with the youth in the program called Littles, and we call them a match. And we have two different types of models of that program: community-based, where they go out into the community, Andy, 2 to 4 times a month, and they can do activities, and we put on free activities. Or we introduced, and it got delayed a little bit during the pandemic, but we are now in the Council Bluffs schools and in Ralston in our Mentor You program. And that's a little bit different. That is a more of a virtually technology enhanced mentoring program where we have staff that go into the schools and they work with a classroom of students, and then those students are matched with a mentor, and then they answer questions on a secure platform once a week, and then they get together about every 6 weeks. So a little bit different for someone who travels or someone who maybe has a little crazier schedule. It's a little bit different. And those kids are kids in our community-based program come in between 7 and 14. For that Mentor You program, it's a little bit older. It's 9th grade, and we are excited to announce that we will be going into the middle schools in Council Bluffs. They ask us, and we're going to be in Millard coming up in the January school semester. So very excited.
Very exciting. And just, I love how, you just, you add things and you do things differently. And when
you have to pivot, you have to, we realized also, Andy, during the pandemic that obviously families need more services than just mentoring. So we identified one of the things that we were is a conduit for some of these families to other services. So we actually started a full-time position called a family resource coordinator. And that person basically hears from our match support specialist, or the people who are talking to the parent guardian, and maybe they need help with rent. Maybe they need it's food insecurity. And so our family resource coordinator helps connect them to those resources and then follows that match, which is really wonderful to make sure that they are connecting. Because one of the barriers with resources in the community, as you probably know, is that families might not know how to access those resources that are available. So we identified that need. And so it's an enhancement to our program, or a wraparound service. We're not changing our core one-to-one mentoring, but we're adding something that really benefits the families and youth that we serve in the community.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And I love it. That's great. I know that we're looking at kind of end of year giving, and also
absolutely
looking at 2024. So how can we support you? How can the community support you
Absolutely. So we just came off the Giving Tuesday, which was very exciting for our organization and others across the community. But year end is a huge philanthropic time for people. They're sort of looking back and thinking about what are my organizations that my values line up with that I want to give to. So we just did a year end appeal that went out to mailboxes that hit homes, but people can go to our website. They can check out. Obviously, we would love to have them inquire about being a big or volunteering, but year end gifts, that makes a huge difference. And one thing that I like to tell people about is our matchmakers or our monthly donors, Andy, because those people essentially are making impact every single month. And they don't have to make one big check or one big donation. You could say give $25 a month. And every month that is helping us take kids off the wait list, because all of those monthly donors together really do create impact. And I like to tell people, for the price of a large grande coffee anymore, you can be, helping a nonprofit every single month. And so there's an option on the website to be a monthly donor or one-time gift donor. So donating is wonderful. Mentoring is great. Checking into that. We're always looking for mentors, especially male mentors. It's a little bit harder to get the men involved on the front side. So always in need of male mentors for sure. But anyone, checking into it.
All right. Well, such great information. And we're about out of time. I encourage people, bbbsomaha.org.
Correct. That's our website, and they can find more about volunteering, and they can make their year-end donation there. And any questions they have, Andy, I'd also encourage them to reach out, connect with someone on the website. There's resources. We are always happy to have a conversation, and we'd love to have more of the community involved. So thank you.
Well, and I look forward to talking to you after the first of the year. I know January is National Mentoring
Month. It is, exactly. Yes.
So perhaps we can have a conversation too early in January to talk about that, because what you do, Big Brothers Big Sisters, is so important. And this organization in the Midlands is just it rocks. You guys do such a great job. So
well, we are excited to be on and share the word. So thank you, Andy.
You are welcome.